because I'm very literal minded, I will say that the sounds we're about to make for you beneath the two bright white lights are dedicated to the people of Minneapolis who are standing up for their neighbors. May we have the same courage and strength when it is our turn to stand up for our neighbors.
And if you feel inclined to join in, please do. by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Air Marine Operations 2 days prior to his death. Agents contacted local 911 after Daniel Martinez said he was experiencing leg pain. He was later transferred to the hospital for evaluation. April 8, 2025. Brian Garzón, 27 of Colombia, died at the Phelps County Jail in Catahoula, Missouri. Garzón's mother, Lucy Garzón, told the St. Louis Public Radio that she and her family came to the U.S. in November of 2023, fleeing rolling threats of violence and harassment from law enforcement in Bogota. In March, he was charged with a misdemeanor for credit card fraud and then transferred to ICE custody. He spoke to his mother a few days before he died and complained of stomach pains and the poor quality of the jail's food. His mother said that he loved riding his motorcycle, watching soccer, and sledding after fresh snowfalls. April 16, 2025. Mama Gwen, 55, died at the hospital in El Paso, Texas. He was apprehended in February in Albuquerque. According to his family's lawyer, Gwen and his partner and friends couldn't locate him for days. Eventually, they realized he was being held at the El Paso processing facility in Texas. Gwen said that he had been showing early signs of dementia and possible side effects from a head injury prior to his detention. Shortly after, he began experiencing health conditions. He had a loving partner and a huge community of friends. He was kind. April 25th, 2025. Maria Chiblis, 44, citizen of Haiti, died at the Broward Transitional Center in Pompano Beach, Florida. She entered the U.S. on an unknown date and location. She was apprehended by Customs and Border Protection on February 12th while attempting to board a flight to Charlotte, North Carolina. ICE has not confirmed this an official cause of death. But when she spoke to her son, hours before she died, she complained of chest pains and abdominal cramps. But when she asked the detention staff to see a physician, they refused.
So listen, I was on a bridge in Fort Worth on Tuesday, and somebody told me that ICE had been in Arlington, in the parking lot at Parks Mall, and on a construction site on Saturday. We never heard about that. We hear about a lot of things that people repost on social media. ICE on the south side, ICE in Fairmount, ICE in my neighborhood. But dig, those notices, those messages don't help anybody if they don't include things like date and time and location, streets, intersections, number and type of vehicles, number and type of personnel, activities. What are they doing? What are they doing? What are we gonna do? I see a lot of people are making whistle kits, and whistle kits are good if you live in a place that's relatively dense where things are close together. But here in Texas, things are a lot more spread out than they are in the north. And our local governments are a lot more in sympathy with the regime. They got 287G agreements that allow law enforcement to act as immigration officers. So what are we going to do when the time comes to stand up for our neighbors? I don't know about you, but for me, I'm constantly reminding myself, don't get scared, get busy. Don't get scared, get busy. Don't get scared, get busy.
Without authorization on numerous occasions starting in 1999. On June 7th, he was found unresponsive in his cell. While an official cause of death was not released, a nice spokesperson had called the death an apparent suicide. June 23rd, 2025, Johnny Oviedo found unresponsive at the Bureau of Prisons Federal Detention Center in Miami. Oviedo was moved from his family in Quebec to Florida in 1988 and became a lawful permanent resident in 1991. He was an epileptic and was diagnosed shortly after birth. And he would often become ill during the winter. So his family settled in Daytona Beach, seeking a warmer climate. He spent most of his life in Florida working at a Dollar Tree and loved going to the beach and playing pool in his spare time. His death is currently under investigation. His father said that his family has still not received an autopsy report, that they're in limbo and they don't know what happened. June 26, 2025, Isidro Perez, 75, of Cuba, died at a Florida hospital of undetermined causes. Perez was a mechanic and fisher, and he arrived in the U.S. in 1966 at the age of 16. He was convicted of marijuana possession in the 1980s. When he got out of prison, he began rescuing animals. He said, "We're all DACA recipient who was brought to the U.S. from Mexico when he was 5 years old. He was arrested by police in Flagstaff, Arizona on August 2nd and charged with possession and use of drug paraphernalia for marijuana, which is legal in that state. ICE said that his cause of death was unknown and remained under investigation. On September 8th, my birthday, Oscar Santuarte of Mexico died at a long-term medical facility while in ICE custody. Duarte, 58, had come to the U.S. in 1976. Was transferred to a Promise hospital in Arizona due to Alzheimer's disease and kidney cancer and Hep C, which all required a high level of care. September 18th, Santos Venegas Reyes, 42 of Honduras, died at the Nassau County Correctional Center in New York. He was a construction worker and a father of 2 daughters. He was apprehended on September 17th, just hours before he was found not breathing. According to ICE, the preliminary cause of death appeared to be liver failure complicated by alcoholism. September 22nd, 2025, Ismael Uribe, 39, died after falling ill at a detention center in California. Lucio Uribe told The Guardian that Ismael had come to the U.S. from Mexico when he was 5, crossing the border with his sister and cousin to join his mother and father. They settled in Westminster, California, and later moved to Huntington Beach. He studied graphic design and began working in design and also worked at a factory producing cleaning supplies and later at car washes. His mother said that he loved listening to music and that he was always willing to help others and that he often helped his sister, who was a single mother. Uribe had been protected from deportation under the DACA program, but he was denied renewal because he had been convicted of driving under the influence. He was apprehended in August during an immigration raid at the Fountain Valley Auto Car Wash, where he had worked for 15 years. After he was transferred to the detention center, he fell ill, first with a cough and fever, and then with other medical complications. According to his family, he was transferred to a hospital where he then died. September 24th, 2025. Norland Guzman Fuentes, 37, of El Salvador, was killed when a gunman opened fire at the ICE field office where he was being held. He is survived by his partner and 4 children. He worked mowing lawns and trimming trees. In his free time, he liked fishing around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Guzman Fuentes was arrested by Dallas police in late August due to an outstanding warrant for driving under the influence and other charges that were later dropped. He and his partner had just bought their first home together and worked hard every single day to make sure their children were fed and had what they needed. His death is a senseless tragedy that has left his family shattered. September 29th, 2025. Miguel Angel Garcia Medina, 31, of Mexico, was killed outside an ICE field office in Dallas. He is survived by his wife, Stephanie Gufani, 2 stepdaughters, and a son who was born 3 days after his death. His mother and his grandparents, who live in Mexico, and 3 siblings. He had lived in the Dallas area for nearly 2 decades, most recently making a living painting and remodeling homes. In his free time, he liked to work on his truck. While he was shackled inside a government van outside the ice field office, a gunman opened fire. He died 5 days later of his gunshot wounds. He would have turned 32 on January 5th, which is also the day of his 10th wedding anniversary. His wife said he was excited and had a lot going for him. There's really just too many to name right now. And I'm sure it's all a lot. A 21-year-old woman who was 8 months pregnant in a state of medical duress was in process of being deported from Atlanta Wednesday afternoon. A human rights attorney was pleading for